Peter Nichols, kindergarten teacher at Musgrove Hill. Biggest thing was the adjustment from basically a structured routine of teaching, this is what you need to get taught within the week, to you don't know what you walk into. You walk into and suddenly somebody sets up the room, you got puppets and stuff, and that takes your day. You get kids walk in with something binoculars from toilet rolls, and that becomes your activity for the day. Getting your head around the fact that you actually need to learn from them in order to extend their learning is the biggest concept.
Good.
To actually getting your head out of, right, we're going to go to SeaWorld this month and we're going to theme the whole month around sea when they're more interested in dinosaurs. And to actually see them learning from what they're talking about is what really changed me, made me follow the curriculum further. Like I'd sit down and go, oh yeah, I don't really see, but then all of a sudden when you do suddenly see it, parents come pick up the child and what did you do today? Oh, we talked about dinosaurs and how one's the scales and that's armor and the colors, and then it's how they camouflage, and them using the words, and they're only 4 years old, and you go, okay, so I could have sat down with them and tried to teach it throughout a week and nothing would have gone in their heads because they just would not have been interested in it.
And what about the process, like from beginning to end? So you get the parent input or a child's interest.
Yep.
So start off from where it comes from, so like a weekend sheet or child's interest, and how you extend.
Well, we've just integrated emails because we found it was really hard to get parent input sometimes, or you just get, we went to Dreamworld. And I try to tell the parents, like, look, you went to Dreamworld, or you bought a kid a bike. Sometimes the kids are more interested in the box that the bike came in, so that's more of their interest. And it's hard to get the parents to think on the same wavelength. So we will ask them questions. Oh, you went to Dreamworld. Okay, well, what did you do at Dreamworld? What was your favourite ride? Who did you see? And then it'll turn out that we're talking about Dora and how Dora went to the dentist, and we work on dentistry. So that's our main concept of where we get it from, but then following it through. Basically we follow it out on the day, see if they're still interested in it the next day. Most of our day seems to finish, I'm still trying to get it to extend throughout the week or the month, interests in general, say if they're interested in dinosaurs, that'll stay for a while. But a concept like we had toilet rolls today with binoculars, to see that extend on tomorrow, it could be another art and craft different way, but might not be binoculars. Like we've already started to move into binoculars are used for the army in the bush, so we might start going to camouflage. So our evolution might not be, alright, we made binoculars one way, let's make binoculars another way, let's make bigger binoculars and smaller ones. It's just evolving where it goes from binoculars to the bush to camouflage to outfits to the heat to the weather. What do you wear in the desert? What do you like? So that's how we sort of evolve, and we don't ever really finish it. Like we get the parent input and go with it, and if it keeps going, well, we just keep going with it, and it could be a completely different story in 2 weeks' time. So.
Yeah. What about the relationships with the children? What have you seen become different? Like,
they say you shouldn't be their best friend, but at this age I find it's better to be their friend. They feel more comfortable with you, with learning.
Who said they shouldn't be?
That's what you get taught at uni, you get told you shouldn't be. You got to have that teacher boundary and the line between a teacher and being a friend. And where in kindergarten I find it's better to be their friends. They're more comfortable to walk in and be your friend, say hello, come up, give you a hug. And being a male was the biggest thing was, oh, there's a little girl hugging me, what do I do? And to actually just sit back and go, you know what, I'm just going to embrace this, and they open up more to you. They're coming in, do you want to go and wave bye to mum? They're crying their eyes out. Yep, okay. You reason with them. I find being their friend is the best thing, rather than being a strict dictator as a teacher's supposed to.
So you've come from a school, and now you're in an early childhood setting. What is your perception now of school readiness?
Completely different. It's challenged every time a parent comes and wants to have a talk to you. Oh, how come, I saw at this centre that they're sitting down and they're making them sit down and write their names. And I'll say, well, 50% of my class can write their names. It may be mirrored, but they're still writing their names. They'll learn. One day you'll wake up and they'll just flick a switch and they'll do it perfectly. The perception of getting them there is having the prep people saying you need to be doing this in order to have them ready up here. it's the same as a primary school teacher when they go to high school. High school teachers always complain that primary school teachers never have them ready. They're not ready for the flow of a day and what to do. They're not at a level that they want. Every grade's the same, and from the prep teachers, they probably feel the same. So they want us to do a lot more of jolly phonics and all the stuff that they're doing over there so that they're ready for when they go over there. But in saying that, I don't want them to be bored that they've already done it all. So, like, we do for some of the parents of Jolly Phonics, we've made a book, but it's more a homework book. We're not going to sit down and make the children do it here. The parents can if they want. We'll do the songs, so they're learning kinesthetic, auditory, visually, the songs, the singing, all of that sort of stuff. So they enjoy it, and it's only 5 minutes. If they're not interested, move on from it. If they are, we'll keep going, we'll do another one, and they go home and do it. So we're not sitting them down to get them ready where the parents want them to be ready. You can't make a kid write their name, and you can't make another child kick a football. They're just not ready to do it yet. They will be, and it'll come.
Well, that's another interesting question you've touched on, like development. So what do you do when parents are, well, you're saying, they've got to be ready, which I agree with completely. Yeah. But what happens when you're saying parents are comparing children?
Oh, parents can compare children all the time, but I always say, well, okay, if your son can't write, I can guarantee you he can probably kick a football 3 times in the air, but one foot, or hop all the way around the track by himself. There's a few children that can't do that. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the next David Beckham, but the parents, in their mind, they always want the best for their children, which they want them to be the next Prime Minister of Australia. So I say each child does develop differently. I'd let them know that I don't think he's lacking in his development in the area that they feel he should be exceeding in. So if there was a concern with a child, then I'd bring it to their attention. But if he's not lacking, his development is, or her development is right on track for school. And that's how I explain it to them. I say, look, he may not be the best in that area. He can still do it, but he's better in other areas. So nurture every area, but not focus on the one. So that's sort of what I tell the parents, and they sort of go away a bit happier, but they still want. So that's why we offer them the other program where they can do it at home, sort of thing, to sort of satisfy what their needs and wants for school.